Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. My name is Melanie, and my special guest, Lela Norris, is here again with me. Hi, Lela.
Hi, Melanie. Thanks for the invite back.
Yeah, we're so excited with our upcoming event on February 4th and 5th, which is a virtual crop. And we thought it would be fun to issue each other some challenges leading up that hopefully will inspire and encourage you to play along and get excited about the event itself.
If they know either one of us, they know that we like a good challenge. So it was really fun that we kind of did it between us, and hoping that more people will play along too. That would be really fun.
If you are playing along, we each have Facebook groups that you can join, one or either or both. And we'd love to see what projects you make to go along with the challenges that we're issuing. And of course, if you're all participating in the event itself, you can always share them in the Zoom crop. Speaking of the Zoom crops, Lela, do you want to just talk a little bit about how the event is generally going to flow? I had some questions on Facebook and stuff about, like, is it Zoom? Is it Facebook? Is it YouTube Live? You want to just chat about how we're picturing this happening?
Yes, let's hope that we both picture it the same way.
Yeah, we're still working out the details.
Yeah, but what we perceive is going to happen is that we're going to have some scheduled Zoom crops for you to join with us. And during that time, you can either play along with one of the challenges or just show us what you're working on, right? Whatever's on your desk, or craft along with us. I know we have a lot of crafters on both of our sites, Melanie, that they knit, crochet, needlepoint, whatever they want to do, but it's sure fun to talk with other crafters while you're enjoying your hobby. So we are planning to have the Zoom crops be times when people can come and chat with other crafters and show us what they're working on.
And I think our thought process is we'll release those links to those Zoom crops a little bit closer to the event. If you are on Facebook, of course, the information will be posted there. But if you are not a Facebook fan and still want to play along, you can message either of us. I will leave our email addresses below, and we can put you on the list so that we can send you those links when we get closer. Our first challenge, what did we do? What did we choose?
Drum roll. Well, we started out kind of an easy one, I think, because we started with a sketch, right? And a sketch is such a great place to start because it just gives you an idea on maybe where to get started, whether it's the number of pictures or something in the background or the way the title's placed. It kind of gives you that momentum to get going. Now, whether your sketch, your page, I should say, your layout turns out like the sketch, at least in my case, sometimes you can tell it's close to the sketch, and other times you're like, are you sure you started with that? But probably like everyone else, a sketch, I never know what's going to motivate me, but it's a great place to start. So that was pretty fun.
It sure is. It takes away that initial step, like, what am I going to do, right? You've already got a plan, and then you can either follow it or veer off, into whatever direction that you wish. So we did choose a sketch. It's from Page Maps, August 2017. These are free sketches readily available. I think it's Becky who does them, but she does quite a few sketches every month, and they're very simple and easy to adapt to different styles. She does not give dimensions, so it is more an interpretation. The sketches are more of an idea as opposed to step-by-step instructions as to how to complete the layout, but they usually are pretty easy to figure out, like approximate dimensions, if that's something that you're interested in. So we are going to start off with your interpretation, and okay. I'm going to post your picture, the picture of your layout here. And why don't you walk us through what you did and how you switched up the sketch, if you did at all.
Believe it or not, in this one, I actually stayed what I think is pretty true to the sketch. So I have an idea for what pictures I want to put on this, Melanie. And so the fun thing for me was I had an idea of what pictures I want to put on it, but I don't actually have the pictures yet, because using the Smitten kit from Close to My Heart, it is Valentine themed. and I really wanted it to be about Valentine. So my husband and I have been married for quite a long time, and we still do Valentine gifts for each other or something nice. Usually I cook dinner for him and always make him a card. Imagine that. And so it's, I had this idea in my head, right? Now I have to take the pictures that I want to go with it. But for my sketch, I had an idea of what pictures I wanted. And so I started there. Now, and you know me very well, I'm not a single page scrapper. Very, very rarely do I single page. So the one thing that I did was I flipped the sketch and did a second page of the same sketch, just flipped for the second page. So I tried something a little bit different. I used more of a colored background, used the cardstock that came in the kit. There was some pretty pink, and I used that for the background instead of maybe just for backing the pictures. And of course, I used my favorite paper right on the very first page, which was the arrows. So you'll see in my sketch that I definitely used the arrow paper on this first sketch. And then I thought some of the stickers were pretty fun, you know, and made, you know, from my page, again, in my head, right? I got to get the right pictures now, the perfect title for my page. I didn't secure those down yet. I know where I want to put them, but obviously I got to put the picture in first. But you'll see from the example that I kind of put in the photo markers, so you can see where I'm going to put the photos, and definitely added the title there.
I love that. I love that you flipped the sketch and turned it into a 2-page layout. I think that's a really great skill to develop if you're a scrapbooker. It makes the sketch go a little bit further, gives you way more options. I also like that you matted your photos in different colored mats. That's kind of cool. I tend to pick one color of mats and repeat it over the entire layout. So I like the idea of switching it up. I might have to try that next time.
Yeah, I also added a little bit more of that nectarine color, that orange, than I thought I would. Really, when we started out, I wasn't sure for me if that was so Valentine-like.
Yeah, we usually think orange is more Halloween than necessarily Valentine's or summer themed. So it was kind of funny. I'm listening to you describe your page and I had to laugh because mine is pretty much a literal interpretation as well. I did not veer off. So I guess we picked a good sketch that we were both inspired by as far as the layout went. I also knew that I wanted to do Valentine photos, and I had a couple photos of my nephew that my sister-in-law had posted on Facebook, and that's one of my most favorite ways of stealing photos is to go on Facebook and download them for myself. And of course, they had included a message from him, so I printed that off as well. Yes, I mean, obviously it was my sister-in-law that typed the message, but it was still kind of cute. The entire layout is almost exactly the way the thing is designed. I've got a couple tags at the top. I've got a title that is one of the stickers, the Be Mine sticker. I raised that on some foam dots. I used some of the branding strips to make the little strips across the layers. And I used some stickers, the cute little mouse cutting out the little hearts. And I used that little heart stamp, you know, the confetti one, as part of the background. In the sketch, there were some splatters. And so I thought to emulate that, I would use the little hearts and did that around the background. And I really like how it turned out. It was a lot of fun. I only did a 1-page layout though. I stuck to one. So again, very literal. And ironically, I did not use any of my favorite stripe paper on this one. But I know, but I did use your arrow paper. So one for your paper. There you go.
Yeah.
Or I guess 2, yours and mine.
Yeah. That arrow paper was such a cute paper, and it made for in this sketch, I think that you'll see, I thought it was a perfect background, right? Just enough to give it a cute background, not being maybe too dramatic or too small for that.
Right,
so
right. Yeah, I actually used it as one of the strips, and I went with the, what is it, Capri? Is that the color?
Yep. Yeah.
The Capri blue gingham piece of paper for the larger component.
Yeah, which was super cute, right? To bring in the blue, you know, colors into that layout more with that, yeah, that plaid blue was really cute. They really had some great designs in this. I
Yeah.
also used the zip strips to add some color, and for this sketch, I really appreciated that worked good, right? Because we had those and they were right on the sketch to use some strips of color.
I always feel like I'm being extra frugal when I use those zip strips, you know? Like it's like a bonus, and it's like, yay me, I got to use that extra little bit of paper. Of course, I always end up with tons of scraps, but I don't know why. It just makes me feel like I've achieved something special when I do use them.
I tend to use those as a border, right?
Yeah.
Almost every time. So for me, it was fun here because on both of our sketches, it wasn't exactly the border, right? Either down
Right.
below or up above. So I was kind of with you. I was like cheering for myself because I used it across both pages.
Well, and it's another pattern, right? So it's just something a little bit different because we got well, I guess 6 different patterns, right? 3 different double paged papers.
I wondered about the tags. So when I first started out my sketch, the thought in my head was to journal on my tags. And
Okay.
it ended up that I used those more as an embellishment and added some stickers across them and put the journaling box actually in another spot. So what I started out thinking, right, was that the tag is, you know, for journaling, but changed my mind, you know, about halfway through. And that was kind of fun too, to just put some different embellishments up on top on the tag.
Right. It formed a part of your embellishment cluster, I guess, if you want to call it that way. That's for, and you did tags on both layouts, right? If I remember correctly. Yeah.
I did. I flipped the switch and really liked the tags on the first page, so I added them to the second page.
Well, I hope you guys are inspired by our layouts and you give this sketch a try yourself. And like I said, if you do, we'd love to see you post over on our Facebook groups. You know, we'd like to see how your interpretation is of the sketch. And be sure to stay tuned because next week we will be issuing our second challenge, and it's a little bit of a different one. And I'm going to leave it as a cliffhanger because you need to join next time so that you can find out exactly what that challenge is and how we interpret it.
Yeah, thanks for joining us tonight and looking at our sketches. We hope you play along. We'd especially love to see if you turn them, right, or change them up. And we hope to see you on the 4th and 5th.
Sounds good. So until next week, happy crafting.